All right. So at the start of this movie, there's this very anxious girl. Like, seriously, she's all kinds of nervous and not at all calm. She's worried about something really important, and it's got her completely messed up. Plus, there are these strange dark marks all over her body, which is a total puzzle. Now, here's the kicker. She keeps murmuring the name of this doll, like, over and over again. She's practically trembling in her boots while she reveals the secret to her friend, who's sitting right across from her. The guy's trying to be a good friend and calm her down, like, hey, relax, nothing to be afraid of, but no luck. She starts crying, and then, suddenly, she spots a kid standing behind her friend. This kid's dressed in white, and you can see her spirit, or something like that. It terrifies the scared girl into full-on panic mode, and she does something extreme, puts a fork down her throat, blood starts flowing, and bam, she's gone. Oh, and there's a doll lying around that wraps up the scene. Next thing you know, we're with this family who just moved to a new town and decided to check out a church festival called Communion. It's all good until they realize their oldest daughter, Sarah, and her friend Marisol are missing after the communion. This worried lady approaches Sarah and tells her story about how her daughter went missing after a church communion too. She's hoping someone's seen Marisol around. But the church folks and the priest aren't having it, and they basically send her away. So back at home, Sarah's bored out of her mind and decides to go to the club with her buddy. Even though it's not really her scene, she's having a blast. They're dancing, and for the first time ever, Sarah tries some illegal stuff they bought from a questionable dealer. And here's where things get interesting. Sarah locks eyes with one of her friends, and it's like, whoa, they've got something special going on. There's a spark between them. So they eventually leave the club, and that sketchy dealer dude pulls up in his car with Sarah's friend inside. She hops in, but the guy starts acting all creepy and unpleasant. He's like, let's go for a ride into the woods and have some fun. But her friend's not having it. She's like, nah, man, we gotta stick to the main road. They start arguing, but then suddenly Sarah's like, stop the car. I just saw a girl in a white dress. She's concerned about who this girl is and why she's wandering around in the woods at night. So she hops out of the car to search, but all she finds is a doll. Sarah figures it must belong to the girl she saw, and she plans to return it if she ever finds her. But the girl's nowhere to be seen. So she takes the doll home with her. It looks exactly like the one from the beginning of the movie. The next day, while showering, Sarah spots a strange black mark on her arm. She brushes it off and goes to meet her friend, who tells her about this creepy town story. It's about a girl who wore a white dress during communion, and her spirit was supposedly visible to people. She also had a cursed doll that brought misfortune to anyone who had it. Sarah's like, nah, that's just a bunch of nonsense. But she decides to check with the priest to be sure. The priest says the doll's perfectly fine, nothing cursed about it. But something's off about the priest's face, and Sarah can tell he's hiding something. Later, Sarah's back home and taking a bath when, suddenly, a spooky spirit in white clothes attacks her. This ghostly kid grabs her with these strange hands and plunges her into some kind of watery well. Sarah's panicking, understandably, but she manages to climb her way back up. Her parents come running, and they're not too pleased about Sarah's condition. They think she's been using drugs or something, so they leave to visit her friend. Sarah fills her in on everything, including the mysterious mark on her arm that's growing. Her friend drops a bombshell. She has the same mark on her shoulder. They put two and two together, thinking it might be from that illegal stuff they took. So they confront the dealer, but he's all, no way, my stuff's clean. Turns out he's lying because he starts developing the same mark. Meanwhile, Sarah's friend goes home to her dad, who's a total alcoholic and abusive. He treats her poorly and hurts her, so she escapes to a bar. But when she goes to the restroom, she starts experiencing the same strange things that happened to Sarah. She sees that ghostly girl again and rushes out of the bar in tears. She calls Sarah and tells her about what she just went through. Suddenly, the ghost attacks her friend too, and she goes silent. Sarah knows her buddy's in deep trouble, so she rushes to her side. Her friend's unconscious, and her spirit's in that same well as before. The ghost girl's trying to harm her, but Sarah manages to bring her back from the brink just in time. Woo, wow, that's quite a story. So basically, Sarah and her friend went through some intense stuff, but they managed to survive. They got super scared, thinking that spooky spirit would come after them. And then there's this illegal substance dealer who gets the living daylights scared out of him by that spirit when she pops up in his car. He freaks out, crashes his car, and sadly passes away. Sarah and her friend are in a real jam, not knowing what to do next. They decide to reach out to Sarah's crush and tell him everything that's happened. This guy tells them a pretty scary tale about two sisters who had a doll just like the one Sarah has. Apparently, those sisters ended up taking their own lives, and the doll vanished. It's clear that Sarah's friend is talking about the two sisters we saw earlier, the scared girl and her sibling. The next day, they all meet up with the friend of the scared girl, who confirms that the sisters did indeed take their lives after the doll went missing. It turns out that Sarah's doll is the same one those sisters had. This doll seems to bring bad luck to anyone who gets near it, and it's scaring everyone half to death. So, they decide to visit the church to get some answers. Unfortunately, the father they're looking for isn't around, but they stumble upon some old stuff from 1998. They find a girl named Marisol, who was part of the communion back then, and she's holding the same cursed doll. This pretty much confirms that the ghostly kid's spirit is actually Marisol. Sarah remembers the lady who was frantically searching for her daughter Marisol during the communion. They put two and two together. The curse that was on Marisol is now affecting them too. They chat with Marisol's mom and explain what's happening. She shares that her daughter was marked with strange symbols, and people would avoid her and not show her any love. Even during the communion, people made fun of her, and she ran away, never to return. Now, Sarah and her friend promise Marisol's mom that if they can find her daughter's spirit, they'll love her no matter what. So, they set off on a mission to find Marisol's ghost. But the spooky spirit comes back and goes after Sarah's friend this time, leaving him super scared. It's his turn now. Turns out, the night they found the doll, the four of them, Sarah, her friend, the dealer, and Marisol, were marked by that spirit. It attacked Sarah and her friend, locking them in separate rooms. Now, Sarah stumbles upon the priest's dead body, bearing the same mark. It's clear the spirit killed him. Meanwhile, Sarah's friend manages to fend off the ghostly girl's attack. Now, Sarah and her friend meet up with Marisol's mom, showing her their marks. She realizes the curse has passed on to them and feels their pain. They decide to find that spooky spirit and bring peace to Marisol. But when they're on the hunt, the ghost girl starts attacking them again in a deserted area. She keeps trying to harm them, and it's super intense. She goes after Sarah, pulls her, and takes her back to that well. Sarah's face to face with Marisol's ghost, but instead of harming her, Marisol hugs her. Sarah's a bit freaked at first, but remembers how Marisol never got the love she deserved, so she hugs her back. Then, water starts filling the well, and Sarah's in danger of drowning. But instead of taking her life, Marisol's ghost leaves her, and all that's left is her skeleton. Sarah climbs out of the well, and it seems like everything's okay. They hop in the car and head home, thinking it's all over. But when they return to their room, they see Sarah's little sister holding the cursed doll. Sarah snatches it away, but now the mark has appeared on her sister's hand too. They're baffled because they thought the ghost was gone. The room starts going all strange with flickering lights and a bed lifting and dropping. Then a demon-like spirit appears. The story takes a turn into Marisol's past, and it's revealed that the doll was cursed from the start. Marisol didn't harm anyone. She was just trying to warn them to stay away from it. So the curse continues, and Sarah's sister is in danger. It becomes clear that the demon in the doll is behind everything, and the story ends on a seriously eerie note. Woo! What a ride! Please consider like and subscribe.